All right. Well, welcome back, everyone, to another amazing night of our Summer Empowerment Week. This week has been going by so quickly. Can't believe it's already Wednesday. We had a great first two sessions. We had the history of disability and a little bit of advocacy chat on Monday. Yesterday, we went through a fun session on the psychology of habit change. Today is a really special treat. I've been trying to get an artist with us for a long time. We have a live painter joining us tonight. She's going to guide us through a fun paint session. And then we have some other stuff at the end of the week, which we'll go over later on at the end of the night. So I just want to take a second and thank our presenter. We have Gina who is joining us. She is a lovely woman. I'll let her tell her story. She is donating her time. She is giving us her time for the next hour. So I'm just grateful that she is here. And I'm also grateful that you guys are here as well. So thank you guys for taking time out of your day to join us, to paint, get creative. Like we said, if you don't have the supplies, go ahead and maybe grab something else to be creative with. Just sit here and join along. And just enjoy yourself. So without further ado, I will pass it on to Gina. Gina, go ahead and take on over.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gina Shu, and some of you may know me as Oops, I Broke My Neck on Instagram. That is me. And then not my Facebook, my other Instagram for my art is Inside Gina's Head. So I love to paint. I am an acrylic artist, and that's what we're going to be doing today. I am a C5-6 quadriplegic and full-time wheelchair user, so I have no fine motor. So that means all of us can do this, okay? Even if you got to use your mouth, let's do it. So I am very excited. Today, we are going to be working on the sunset. Now, if you don't have these colors on you, that's not a problem. Do some abstract sunset. Maybe you have grays. You could do a cloudy day with a little dark background. Like you can get creative and it's not going to look just like this. It's going to be your own kind of thing. And if you want to at the end, I live in Arizona. So, of course, I'm repping AZ with my cactus. But if you live in a different area and you want to do a tree or, like a bush. Oh, by the way, there's two dogs. I have two visitors that just keep, hello friends. They're excited to be back. I know someone, she's going through a little bit of a rough time. And so she needed a place, an emergency place to put her dogs in. So they just showed up and I said, I'm doing a big thing, but you'll occasionally get to see that's Leo and Lucy. They are wonderful. Leo is bigger than he realizes. So he'll definitely come over and help me paint at some point in this whole thing. He'll probably paint himself, I'm sure. Hello, Lucy. Okay, so let's get started. Go ahead, get your things together. Grab your canvas, grab your paints. Make sure you've got paint brushes. Make sure you got water jugs. And anything really works. You can put it in anything. And then I would start. So the one thing about paint, let me see, I shoved everything around. So these are the paints that I've got. They're kind of like smaller. I'll tell you this, you really don't need a lot of paint when you're using. So if you've got these acrylic paints that are very pigmented, which I highly recommend. And while we're working on this, I'll teach you guys some things about painting too along the way. So if you want to continue, there's things that I've learned as an artist and ways to cut expenses and get good quality products. So okay, let's get started. So at the beginning, you will see we start light to dark for the sunset. Okay, so you're going to start with your yellow. Okay, and this is how I started it. It doesn't have to be perfect. So start with your yellow. And you just want to do about halfway up. You're going to go with your yellows. Bring it all the way halfway up. You don't want your paint to be super thick because you don't want it to take a million years to dry. If it needs more color, like you can do more color. How often do you do these classes? There is a question we need to know. Any of these empowerment classes, I think they share. How often do you guys do your empowerment series? Probably
So
40.
so the empowerment classes, they happen quarterly and it's a week long. And so it's for a week, every quarter, and every night it's a different presenter, and they do different topics, different tips, tricks, different companies or organizations. We've had other nonprofits on there. And then we have people like Gina who are just super creative. And we're like, yeah, we need to get involved with her and to have her share her cool stuff too. So, like I've said, we've actually never had a live painting class. We tried a couple years ago during COVID, and our artist got sick and had to cancel. But it's so exciting to finally do something fun and creative together. So thank
I
you,
tell
Gina.
you. So, and if you guys have any questions as you go, okay, so now here's the thing. You're going to bring that yellow up and kind of, you're going to see, do you see what's happening here? You can kind of see where we're going with this, right? You are going to be creating those clouds here in a second, okay? So next, you're going to have your orange. And what you'll do is you're going to bring that down, and I'm going to show you here in a second. Take your larger brush for the yellow, and you can still use that same brush. I've got kind of a big one. I didn't even wash it hardly. Because if it blends a little, that's okay. And then you're going to pull the orange. I will show you here in a second. You're going to want to pull, whoops, I'm going to throw things. That's quadriplegic status, right? Okay, so when you do this, you want there to be a little bit of a jaggedness, kind of cloud look to it. And don't worry, it doesn't have to be perfect. It'll blend in a little bit here and there. Okay, so like this is starting, you want to envision clouds. They're not straight lines, okay? They're bubbly and they're flowy and they're not perfect, okay? And so what you're gonna do is pull that down, drag your brush a little lightly, kind of side to side, and use that paint that you still have. Some of those colors, you want them to blend in. See how that's kind of blending? You can see it's starting to look like a sunset, okay? So you're gonna pull that, do not cover all the yellow. Make sure that you don't cover all the yellow, because if you cover all the yellow, you take away that lightness. And once that lightness is gone, it's very hard to get back. So you can always add more color, but when you're working with these blended paintings, you want to make sure I've got happy dogs over here. You want to make sure though, you give it a softness. See how I did right there? I kind of blended in that softness and it comes together. So you're going to go in, bring that down, imagine your beautiful sunset, thinking about making out with a hot person under a sunset. No, I'm just kidding. Who knows? I don't know. Whatever you want to do under a sunset. I want to make out with a hot person under a sunset. So, okay. All right. And then you just kind of pull that up and you go ahead and keep blending that. You guys do that. Are there any questions that you have in the meantime? And where was everyone's? Oh, hello, Leo. That's Leo. He's a big old black lab. Okay, I'm gonna get this done real quick and then show you guys.
Chris asked how long you have been painting and do you sell your artwork?
I do. So I have been painting I've been painting my whole life, but then after I had my injury, I actually ended up, I stopped painting and then picked it up about 10 years in, and then stopped painting when I went to law school. And then when I ended up stuck inside during COVID, I picked up the paintbrush again. And next thing I know, I was in a gallery and I sold out my artwork. So, yes, I'm very grateful for my opportunities. I've been painting for a while, but not until COVID, until I really, really got back into it. Okay, so you're going to see I kind of brought it around. You're going to bring it in a little bit, kind of give some depth to it, bring some of that color, floating it. If you don't add a lot of paint to your brush and you actually drag the leftover paint, you give it this wonderful cloud effect. And that's why you can't even mess it up, you guys. Look, I'm not even trying. And I'm literally, it's just like blue, blue, blue. You can't mess it up. Give it a couple of little poof poofs here and a poof poof there. And there you go. Look, it starts to look like a freaking sunset. Okay, so let that do its thing for a second and then find your red. So your red is going to be your next color that you're going to bring in. Now, what I would recommend is letting it wait for a second. Let it have a little bit of air, especially if you have really thick paints. If you got some thick paints, now's your chance to like take that extra paint away with a clean brush. Okay, so with a clean brush, if you got big old clumps, you go in there and you kind of boop, boop, pull some off because you don't want it to be so heavy that you're not able to blend and that color will saturate all the other colors. So that's something that's very important. While you guys are doing that, I know it takes a little second. I'll let you guys catch up. One thing I'll teach you about paints is the price doesn't matter as much as you think. Okay, it really is about what you're wanting. My favorite paint, and I have spent money on paint. I bought the nicest, and then I recommend at Michael's. My personal favorite paint is this paint. This Craft Smart paint. I just got some on here. Hold on. Okay, I've got paint stuff everywhere. All right. Craft Smart paint. Let me try. There. Can you see it there? There. Okay, so this stuff is awesome. It's like $1.29, depending on where you live, per bottle at Michael's. Great deal. And a lot of times they go on sale. You can get them 2 for $1 or, and they're really pigmented. There's a handful of them that are not pigmented, so don't get discouraged. Sometimes it's really hard for you to get good pigmentation in like oranges or yellows or, their pinks are great, their blues are great. So, I highly recommend that. Keep an eye out if you're looking for supplies. That's a really good place and they're very reasonable. So, okay, get your red. And we are working our way up. Whoa, oh, whoa. This is me. That's quadriplegic stuff. There, one. Ta-da! Okay. You thought I couldn't do it? No, I'm just kidding. I thought I couldn't do it. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so bring your red in. Now, here's what you're wanting to do. This time it matters. So all those spots that you've got orange, your red is going to go inside of that, okay? Because what you're envisioning is, as you'll see here, it goes from light to a little darker to darker to dark, right? So you are starting that here. You are building layers of shadowing of clouds, and so that's why it's so important. So you're going to pull that in. Look at this. I'm hardly even, I can pretty much do anything and it's going to look good, you guys. You're gonna not do a bad job. Don't worry. You can bring that in a little bit, blend it. If you've got pinks are beautiful in here too. You can add pinks. You can blend your yellow and your red to give you a really bright orangish pink to blend too. You don't have to just stick to these colors and not let them blend together. You can blend your colors that you have to create sunset colors that exist. So, get creative. You're not stuck with just a couple of things here and there, like color wise. So bring that around. I'm going to show you. I'm going to get this done real quick and I'll show you guys exactly what we're doing here. Okay. Imagine it's a cloud. You want to give it some of that swoopiness to it that makes it look like it's got that pillowy cloud texture. So let's do this. Okay, I'm going to show you guys. So this is pretty much what I did. So what I'm going to do now, though, I'm going to go back with some orange so that I can blend and bring. There's the dogs. Hello. See, you can't mess it up because Leo can't mess me up. Okay. Okay. All right. So it's starting to look like this. Okay, which is really looking like a sunset. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. It literally, our eyes, take a step back. If you're beating yourself up too, if you're looking at it and you're like, I hate it, stop, because we all beat our stuff up, okay? But take a step back or roll back like we do. Roll back, look at it, and actually envision, it's a good thing. I like you know, it's a good thing to take a step back and look at it from a distance because we can be up in it and we're like super critical of it. But you know, then you finish it and you're like, oh, actually, that kind of looks like a sunset. So don't beat yourself up. Okay, so let me just look at mine really quick. I'm like, okay, okay. All right, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so here's what I've got so far. Very easy. Okay, very easy. Very demure. Just kidding. Okay, so now kidding. All right, I saw thank you, Talia, for laughing. I saw you chuckle. Okay, so now my favorite color, this beautiful royal blue that I just want to paint my whole house in, but I think people would think I was crazy. Ah, so that's how I open stuff, by the way, with my mouth because my hands, they quit 20 years ago.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I love it. She said, you got that joke. I saw it. She's like, I got it. All right. So now I would, you know, go with a different color. I'll go with a new brush and I'm going to go with something probably a little bit smaller, actually, like medium size. Hi, friends. I got these dogs and they're living their best life right now. Okay. Okay, so, all right, so I'm gonna pull in, so I'm gonna show you guys this one first. I'm gonna do the blue. Okay, ooh, my blue needs to be shooks. Okay. So it seems a little weird to be like right here, but you'll see it. It makes sense when you actually look at the sunset when it's all done. You're gonna want some of that dark color on the bottom right. So like you see here, it kind of sneaks in. And that's because you're pulling in. Okay, I'm gonna show you right now. Very easy, very basic, not hard at all. Okay. And you're gonna see it starts adding this dimension, okay? Lord Jesus, that was me, not Leo. He's an angel. Thank you, Jenny. I got my right hand woman over here, Jenny. She's running the show. Yeah, I love that. Okay. She's on doggy duty. Okay. So then I'm gonna pull this down, bring in some color so it's like looks a little darker, like you're seeing here, these ones, and you'll kind of want them to point down. It's almost like you're pointing at that sunset. You're pointing where that sunset is. Okay. Okay, perfect. Does anyone, okay, I'm kind of want to see yours. I'm kind of curious what you got going on. How's it going? Is it going well? Is it working over there? I'm curious. Is it looking like a sunset? Okay, I'm gonna show you mine here in a second. So what I do after I work it in, I'm gonna show you. Okay. I blend it in a little. You'll see there's like some areas where I'll kind of like make it. You're going to see what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you right now. Because I think it's good to see as you go through the process because you know, it's the little details, the little shadowing, the little colors that like actually make a huge difference that you go, wow, adding just that one color or one highlight or whatever, it just made it a whole new painting. So if your color is not bright, do a thin layer, let it dry, and then do another layer. Do just a really thin layer. The answer to a paint that doesn't have good pigment is not adding more. It's adding layers. It's thin layers. So like if you've got a pigment that just doesn't want to take, don't go and cake it up because then you'll get cracking when it dries and it doesn't dry well. What do you want, Lucy? She said, the food's right here. Give me a bite. Okay. All right, let me show you. And then I'm gonna wrap this up. They're such good doggos. They've been through a lot. Okay. Life isn't easy for everyone, right? I think we all know how that goes. All right. Okay, I'm going to show you this. I love this blue. It's so beautiful. It's just such a royal, gorgeous, true blue. Okay. Then no. Let me do like a little one here. Okay. You guys can see now. Thank you, Jenny. If you want to, whenever you're done, you can head out. They can make an appearance. All right, so I'm sure you guys see that. It's starting to look like it, huh? Hey, look at that. Progress. All right. You guys are lucky that I'm making a conscious effort. Usually when I'm painting by myself, I'm sitting here like this. Like I do this for, I catch myself, I filmed myself one time and I was watching and I'm like, I can't even post this video because it was a time lapse and I looked like this. Like in the time, I was like, oh my gosh, it was ridiculous. And it was a really good painting video, but I was like, I'm not posting that. Okay, so once you get past that, then you can get rid of the little one again. Go back to your big one. I'm too lazy to clean mine, but I'm sure that's go back and clean that one. And then you take your blue and do the whole top. Because now I'm going to show you. Because then we're going to get into our very deep purple, which is gorgeous, adds so much color. And then at the end, we do our light blue. That's our like little highlighter. And if you've got white, because somebody forgot to put white on the list, but if you have white, I recommend, I'll show you what we can do with that. I don't even have white on me, but I'll grab it. Okay, so let me just show you what I've got here. I did. Okay. See, I live in Arizona and we get some of the craziest, beautiful sunsets. I feel so grateful to experience them. I'm going to need a little more paint, but I'll show you guys what that looks like so you know. Hi, y'all, you biggie boys. Okay, so it's getting there. Okay, and I'm going to let that dry just a smidge. And then I'm going to do another layer because this pigment isn't as good as I would like. So, so another thing, when you guys are painting, I highly recommend exploring different media outside of a canvas. I have a lot of fun painting things. A lot of times you won't even think that it's something you're like, oh, I wouldn't even have thought to paint that, but I'll get random little boxes and things like that. And I find that's a really great way to practice when you're wanting to try something new. You're not spending a lot of money on your canvases or whatever. There's really no rules to painting. You can paint whatever you want. Anything you want. The mirror frame. Exactly. I did a mirror and I was so happy with it.
So
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you. I was so happy with that one. Yeah, and I got it at the thrift shop for $4, people.
That's the
$4.
best stuff when you get stuff like that. And then
Oh, I feel like a champion when I like upgrade something. All right. Thank you, Jenny.
Of course, they are watered, fed, and walked.
Oh, they are. They're
And I put
happy.
the sheet on the bed, so
Oh. All right, guys. Welcome back. They're good dogs. All right.
bye, Gina.
See ya. Thank you, Jenny.
Yes, thanks.
That is my caregiver, Jenny. She's a wonderful person. We had surprise dog drop off today for those who joined late. I don't know. So I have 2 visitors and I'm excited to hang out with them. And I think they're gonna excited to be spoiled because I'm a dog spoiler. All right. Okay, I'm gonna get that dark purple in there. Okay, here's my dark purple. It is dark. Okay, I mean, shade away from black. And if your purple is not that dark, you actually can mix a little bit of black in it to get that darkness. Wait, are you trying to give advice? All right. Who said, yes, I'm trying to give advice to all the people. Okay. Jenny left. They're upset. They really like Jenny. Dogs, they're so easy. Feed them, pet them, and they're good to you. Okay. Okay. So with the purple, excuse me, with the purple, you want to make sure that the whole top is covered with that really dark purple. And then you'll pull it down. Jeez. Must be the weather. Okay. Jesus, hold on. I sound like old man winter. I promise I don't smoke cigarettes, just marijuana. It's true. Okay. All righty. Okay. I'm going to show you guys this, and then we'll move to the bottom. And the bottom's fun because the bottom is, well, I mean, you can be really creative too with the, with the clouds and stuff. You can actually spend some serious time giving this definition. So the thing that makes a master of clouds is someone who actually, it does take a long time. It's not something like this where it's like, boop, 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 let's throw it together. No, it is absolutely something where people understand shadowing and pillowing and all of these things, and they wait in between sessions and let things dry, and then they let it blend. And I really respect people that are capable of doing incredible sunsets because it's actually not the easiest thing to do. So kudos to you if yours is looking like a sunset is what I'm saying. Mine kind of looked like a mushroom cloud when I started out, and I was like, ooh. Yeah. Is yours looking like a mushroom cloud?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have those thoughts. I know where you're at in life. That is so funny. I'm gonna laugh about that later to myself. All right, let me show you guys what I've got going on here. So here's where we're at. My purple is not super dark, so I'm gonna actually end up doing a little bit of the black. I had another purple and I, for some reason, didn't use it, like it dinged that. But we can fix it. Everything is fixable.
Is the
And you're
purple
gonna
up at the top?
Yes,
Sorry.
purple's at the top. No,
Okay.
please. You're gonna go all the way up to a really dark purple. And I'll just add, now the thing about black, when you're using black to actually add color to your colors, you don't need a lot. That is one pigment that it's like, it just wants to take over. It wants to take over. So what? You want to be part of this? I know. You guys are upset. Life is changing. Trust me, everyone in this group actually understands. Okay, so now I'm going to show you, this is looking better. It's getting more color. I added that black to give it that outer space look, that dark, beautiful purple that, we see in the sky next to that gorgeous blue. That's what I love. Okay. And then, okay, now you'll see. Okay, so it's got, I'm gonna add a little more right here, but it's mine's a little wet right here. So I'm gonna give it a second and I'm gonna go back over that again. In the meantime, so I'll let that sit on top. While that sits, I am actually going to do the black on the bottom. So this is just black. There's no change there. And hold on. Okay. And then we'll let that dry. And then very last, we do that light blue. So like that's the one that we want to really pop. It'll give it that nice color. So If you're doing the black, where's my black? Okay. Hi, Lucy. I'm sorry. Things have been a big change for you. Okay. So this is the fun part. Now you want to create mountains, create mountains. You want to make make trees. And the way that you do each one of those, I'm going to teach you okay. Let's say you want to make a tree. Okay, well let's create the bottom. Okay. So this is super easy. Okay, I'm going to show you. Now here's the deal though, with that bottom area, and I'm going to show you up close. You want to make sure that, how do you know there are trees over there is what I want to know, because you can't even see them. Okay, the bottom area, you want to make sure that that top line that's connecting, that's hitting the yellow is sharp. No blending. Very, very sharp. And I'm going to show you, because think of when you look at a silhouette. It's not faded. It's very sharp. Silhouettes have very sharp details. You can see almost every leaf, every mountain crevice, whatever, you know? So let me show you. Okay. It's very sharp. Now, if you want to do a tree, like a redwood, you can do one that's bigger to start, but you're gonna want a smaller brush. Let me grab a smaller one than that, actually. Yeah. Okay. So if you've got one that's long like these, they're great. But if you've got one that's smaller, that's what I recommend doing for either both the cactus and the trees. So I'm gonna show you if you're doing a tree. I know this may shock you, but and I'm doing a kind of like a palm tree. You start with a line. Yes, I know, shocking, right? Well then, but here's the thing. So you don't really connect you don't make branches per se, but instead you kind of make lines with dotted, I'm gonna show you. And it makes it look like it's part of a tree. Hold on. Okay, so the branches aren't perfectly straight, but the branches do, as you know, when you watch a fern, they kind of grow out together in the same, like there's rows. So you're gonna see here. Okay, so you're gonna start with, I'm gonna have paint all over me by the time I'm done with this. You're gonna start with like kind of a little bit of a line that's squiggly. And then you go further out, and then it's wider, and then it's wider. But you don't want to go too much. Otherwise, your tree is going to be 45 feet wide at the bottom, okay? So just little bits at a time. And you just go, and you just slowly, you can just, and if they don't exactly touch, that's okay. Because our eyes don't see all of the tiny little stems that are there, but we see clusters. And so when you're looking at that and when you look at it on your painting from a distance, people see the same thing. It's no different. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to do this. Okay. And then as you get towards the end of the tree, you kind of want to give it a little more fullness, okay? And you want it to kind of droop down, because the bottom of a pine, it's like got this sadness at the bottom. It's carrying the weight of all of its brothers and sisters on top. So it kind of comes down and you're going to see it. And I'm going to show you and you're going to go, oh, wow, that looks like a pine. Okay. And just like that, you have painted a pine tree. So freaking easy. Literally, like so easy. And you can do now what you want to do if you're wanting it to make it look like a forest at the bottom. Let's say we've got a little extra time. I'm going to forest this out. You don't want them all the same size because when you're looking at these trees, they're far, they're close, they're far, they're close, they're in the middle. Some are big, some are broken, some have missing limbs. So give these trees an identity. When you're thinking of the tree, you've got to remember like this tree has its own identity. And it's going to be different. It's going to be unique. It's not going to be as full as the next one, or it's going to be fuller, or it's going to, miss a couple of spots. And, and you can also, at the bottom, if you're planning on this is a jungly area, then, and look how quick you could just bust these trees out. When I tell you it doesn't have to be perfect, look at my little crooked ass tree. And it looks like a tree, right? So go through there with those. Now, if you want to do the cactus, you start with one long, rounded. Okay, let me show you. I know, guys. Okay, so kind of straight up and down. You go with this. As one would assume. And then all you do is you bring down, so the arms of a saguaro is how you actually say it, the saguaro. So the arms of the saguaro tree, cactus, are smaller than the body. And they actually grow kind of in different locations. They're not, everyone thinks the cactus is like one stick in the middle and like the arms go together. No, they're off-centered and some are small and some are bigger and some have 3 arms. And I'm going to show you because you can do it like this cactus that I just did. Okay. So, you got to remember, cacti are unique. Now, if you're doing like cactus and stuff like that, there's a couple of areas you'll want to add some like little bush details if you're doing a forest or if you're doing a desert landscape kind of around the cactus. So like one that you can do that's super easy is you just take, let me grab I know, Leo, I'm sorry. I'm going to give you attention in a little bit. Doggies. Okay. Let me find one that I know you guys will have. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so take your small one and dip it in your black. And if you want to make, these are those little paddle cactus. All you need to do is, I'm going to show you. You do little dots and you connect them. I'm going to show you in 2 seconds. Hold on, you'll get to see what it looks like. And it'll all make sense. Okay. I throw more things down than anybody I know. Okay. And all it is, like little dots. That's all it is. Can you see it? Yeah.
Okay.
And you just connect them. So the dot, if you're connecting paddle cactuses, so you imagine what a paddle cactus is like. Paddle cactuses connect at the bottom. So your dot needs to connect at the bottom and it'll make it look like a real paddle cactus. It's growing. Imagine your paddle cactus growing out. So you just, what? Hi, I'm sorry, give me 2 seconds. I know she left and you're sad, but we're teaching a class here. Unless you're gonna take over, you gotta let me talk. Okay, so then after you do those, you don't want to do it all the way to the end. Like you'll notice a lot of my detail, I did another little baby cactus back there and a couple little things here and stuff. And the details fade out from here. You can see a couple little things, maybe a little tree here and there. but it's because you're imagining that you're closer to this side. You're standing from over here and you're looking out over this sunset. Those things are further away, less detailed. There's not as much information on them in your eyes. So your eyes focus on this area. So that's why when you paint this and you're putting it there, you're focusing so it's getting that contrast. Now you want to let that dry, okay? Because you don't want it to be super wet. Because now you're going to add a little bit of highlighting even to this. I'm sure you can see it. There's a little bit of that red that kind of brings it to light. I'll show you in a second how you're going to do that. I'm going to quickly make the top a little darker. Get some definition up in there. Okay. How are you guys coming along? Are you following along about the same? Am I going too fast? I know I'm kind of a quick painter. Sometimes people are like, ah, and I'm like, I'm sorry. Let me slow down. Okay. And so so I did that. I got the dark lined up, other than some areas where I touched it, but whatever. Okay. And then after that, so what you're going to want to do is some of your orange and your red that you have, you're going to bring that with a clean brush, rinse one off, wipe it off. You're going to want to bring that orange, the yellow, and the red, and you'll, ugh, the blue does not taste good, just if you were wondering. But okay, and then bring it in to some of the areas of the darker colors just to add a little bit of highlight. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay. Because then it adds more definition. Okay, just like the darkness kind of darkens the other clouds, the light clouds highlight the dark clouds. So there's a definition in there that you're wanting. Let me show you, and you'll totally understand what I'm saying. So just a couple of little, like where you would imagine it to be. So like I imagine it's on the bottom of the darker ones. So that's where I kind of will highlight occasionally. And you'll see. And this is your painting. You make it how you want to see it, how you like it. But when you add some other like highlighting, notice how I added that yellow in there and it gives it a little more definition. Okay, see that now? Like how you're seeing it's like, oh, so it's not just the dark. Now you go highlight a little bit of the dark. The dark needs a little bit of highlight, just like you brought in the darkness down into the light. So now that's what you're going to do. So that is pretty close to how I would paint a sunset. I would recommend too something. Oh, the light blue. Oh my gosh, I'm a dingbat. Ignore me. I lied. I was just testing if you were paying attention. Okay. This is what makes this freaking painting, I feel like. Okay. It's just a little, and you want to do it on places that really are not as wet so that you get that actual color contrast that it is. It's supposed to be the blue sky just peeking through one last time before it's absolutely inhaled. So only a couple of spots. Now here's the thing. You don't want it to be a lot of places. There's not a lot of that peeking through. So you're going to want to pick wisely. Here's what I did. And you're going to see it. It's a game changer. Good. Okay. So just a little bit, just a couple spots to highlight it wherever you feel like it looks natural. Except we all light them. Okay. So That is it. You can add birds in the sky. You can add a plane. You can add a UFO. You can add a chicken. I don't care. Get creative. You could have a little house at the bottom. You can put um phallic images, like I probably would. But that's it, get creative. One thing I'll tell you I love about painting, there are no rules to painting. No one's going to come in and tell you that you can't do that or you did a bad job. And if they did, they don't know what they're talking about, because here's what, everything is beautiful. The fact that you are creating is literally incredible. Okay, I know a family here, their son just had a severe TBI and he is not capable of communication or anything. So the fact that you're able to create these beautiful pieces of artwork is absolutely a gift, and you hang back with pride, damn it. So, I mean, I mean it. I love it. I love to paint. You get messy, okay? You have fun. You do it. You get out, you have fun, and you explore. So, I will share if any of you guys want some information on fun little things to paint. Message me directly. I'll give you fun ideas. I've got some things that I've done. So if you have any questions about stuff, I'm always available. So thank you guys, and thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions though too, before I hand it back to Brianna?
Thank you. This was fun. This was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Awesome. No, that
I
means a
bought
lot.
like a package of canvases, so now I'm excited to do more. So thank you.
Good. Yes. Oh, I've got some ideas for you, some fun intro things that will challenge you, but like you'll be appreciative of what comes out.
Awesome. Thank you.
Any last minute comments or questions for Gina before we go? There was one question that came up in the chat earlier, was how art has helped you through your journey. So
Oh my gosh. Like honestly, during COVID, I'm a social person. Like I want to be around people and I want to hang out, I want to go do stuff. COVID killed me. Like it really actually put me into, for the first time, what I would actually define as a depression. And I felt out of control. I felt isolated. And it brought me back to a lot of what I felt like in the hospital when I was first injured. And so I instantly threw myself, uh I cut out TV, and I didn't watch television or Netflix for 2 months during the pandemic. And I just painted. And I'll tell you, it was so good for my mental health. And the things I created, these are all my paintings behind me. Selling out for $2,500 for 3 pieces of artwork was insane. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not only been incredible for my mental health, but also a confidence booster. So I would recommend to anyone, get in there and practice. And you should see some of my crap from before. Holy crap, 3-year-old trash. I was like, we got to throw that out. But like some of it was whack. So don't be discouraged when you paint a butterfly that looks like a damn squirrel. Okay. Like it's going to happen. Okay. Nothing looks like it should at the beginning. So just have fun with it. Yeah. I love it.
This
awesome.
was very, very entertaining. But I do have a question. Do you ever do anything like hosting a paint night where you could do it online like this? Because this was so much fun. I'm a
Oh, you're so
little,
sweet. Yes, I
I'm a
actually do
little
host.
upset. I'm a little upset that I didn't have the paints here because I, I don't know. I just didn't have the paints, but I tried to
I'll
follow along
talk
with
them
pencil.
into doing another one. I'll talk Brianna into having me again.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah. And if I do one, follow me on Instagram because I'll post. But where do you live? What area do you live?
I'm in California, Central California.
Oh, what part of Central? Sorry, guys. You guys all matter, but hold on, I gotta know.
I'm actually from Bakersfield.
I'm from Chowchilla, California. Don't be jealous. You guys don't understand. It's a really like tiny white trash town. So anyway.
We
Well, thank you.
we would be
So,
blessed to have you again, though. Absolutely.
We'll
Absolutely.
do the worms
So,
next time.
yes. Yeah, James. So that's what we'll do. We'll do this. We'll wrap up. We'll
are
we'll
are
wrap
we able
up
to
this.
see what everybody painted if they painted?
Yeah,
Yeah.
whoever wants to share, please clip on your camera. Oh,
Oh my
this is
gosh.
great.
That's
I did it with
I
amazing.
pencil.
love it.
Oh my
Nice
gosh, you
job,
guys are
James.
so talented, actually.
Yes.
Pencils.
I love that, James.
Incredible. Incredible. Okay, I'm excited. Thank you.
Beautiful. Oh, I love it. That is so
I love
great.
it. Oh, hell yeah.
Um,
Thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone, for spending your
Thank you for
time with
doing
me
this.
on this evening. I feel very honored.
Thank you.
we feel equally as honored, Gina. We know that you have a lot of fun projects on your plate. So thank you so much for taking the time to share your beautiful gift with us and to let everyone just kind of get creative. I cannot wait to do this again. I will definitely send you the dates, and whenever you're available, you are welcome back
I'm
anytime.
in.
Worms, UFOs, even if you want to like create something on the spot, like I'm cool with that.
I love it.
I love all of it. My board member reminds me that like creativity is so important for especially with what we've gone through and everything. So if it's not painting, find a musical instrument, dance your heart out, cook food, try a new recipe.
Oh,
There's
yes.
so many ways to be
Yes.
creative. Don't get discouraged if the first one doesn't work. So
Amen.
thank you, Gina, for donating your time. And thank you guys for coming and giving us your time too. We really appreciate you guys tuning in and painting and giving it your all. Do not think the fun is over with though. We have another 2 amazing presentations left to do. We have paracycling tomorrow, and then we have moving out of state on Friday. So if you're curious on how my move went from Wisconsin to North Carolina, or I have a beautiful friend named Kim. She's a quad. She moved from Texas to California. So we have 2 very different perspectives, and we are very excited to share, answer questions, and all the things. So go ahead and sign up for that. I will send this recording out to everyone. I will send Gina's Instagram with that and the links for the rest of the week. So without further ado, you guys have a great night. Get yourself a snack. Gina, you give those dogs some love. Thank you,
Oh,
everyone.
thank you guys. Have
Have
a
a
great
great
evening.
night. Bye, guys.
Bye.